Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as well as the vast majority of crypto and finance. And with that being said, I hope that you are all having a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are out there in the world. So recently, the founder and the managing partner at Pantera Capital, Dan Moorhead, actually put out a great post regarding this meeting that's happening today. Tomorrow, I'll be speaking at Blackrock's Institutional Digital Assets Summit. One of the topics they'd like to address is how much the industry has changed over the last decade. The existence of that summit is the massive change. Really excited about this. And if you actually think about that, right? Think about how crazy it is to actually have an Institutional Digital Assets Summit. I mean, you would never have thought in a million years that we would be at this point in time, in such a short amount of time as well, where institutions like BlackRock are actually embracing this technology and they're actually speaking at a major summit for them. But also, if you think about it, right, what's crazier about all of this is Ripple Swell, right? David Schwartz put out a great post regarding Ripple Swell, and he said, it's a banking conference held by a blockchain-based company. And Ripple Swell has been going on for years now. And if you think about how big of a move that is from Ripple to actually have a banking conference technically held by a private blockchain-based company, it kind of shows you where Ripple is at this current moment in time at the forefront of this massive revolution. And beyond this, we actually got a great insight from Chad Steingraber regarding this summit and what will be talked about. So we have BlackRock Institutional Digital Asset Summit has been created. Read every line. Everything has changed. And here we have some of the significant updates regarding this summit. We have in the last 30 days, BlackRock and Barclays used JP Morgan's blockchain in a milestone collateral transaction. BlackRock CEO says he believes Bitcoin and crypto will play a role as a flight to quality. Major European clearinghouse Euroclear issues first ever tokenized digital Eurobond worth $106 million. JP Morgan reveals that its digital coin handles $1 billion worth of transactions daily. Crypto market cap nearly 1.5 trillion for the first time in nearly 2 years. I think that we just hit like about 2 trillion. CME Bitcoin futures open interest surpasses Binance to claim the #1 spot for the first time in 2 years. UBS launches crypto ETF trading for wealthy Hong Kong clients. Japanese banking giant Nomura launches ETH fund. BlackRock files for spot Ethereum ETF. HSBC announces digital assets custody services to institutional investors. UK sets out proposals to bring stablecoins into the real economy. HSBC launched tokenized ownership of physical gold. Thailand's fourth largest bank buys 103 million stake in crypto exchange. Standard Chartered Zodia custody expands to Hong Kong. WisdomTree announces plans for more digital funds for blockchain-enabled app. World Bank rolls out first digital bond issuance on Euroclear, and Standard Chartered to invest 100 million in crypto startups. And that was just in the last 30 days when this got posted about 3 months ago. And this is from the Digital Asset Summit 2024. The institutions are here. They were here 3 months ago, but they've been here for a while. Like I've said, right? Like a lot of these big institutions and these big banks, they've been in discussions with private companies within the space for a while. Ripple is obviously one of them. We know this. But this is still a very significant event. We're definitely going to be watching this one pretty closely to see what comes from this event. But beyond that, right? The Digital Asset Summit 2024 is going to be held in London. This is another event. This is outside of this one. So this is the first of many, in my opinion, summits regarding institutional demand around digital assets. But this one is definitely interesting. This one's actually happening today. This one is happening around March. And a lot of speakers are going to be there. Obviously from Citi, from BlackRock, Golden Tree Asset Management, a lot of hedge funds. Goldman Sachs is going to be there. Like I said, BlackRock, FIS, Standard Chartered, but also Ripple. Brad Garlinghouse will be there, and some other players from the space as well, like MakerDAO, Chainlink. I'm sure Stellar's probably going to be there as well. I'm not too sure. I did not really look at all of the names on here, but It wouldn't surprise me if Stellar was there as well. They always make a little bit of noise at a lot of these big events. But this is actually going to be held in London. Focus on that as well, continuing on into later on in this video. But we also have over here, because again, Blackrock, Ripple, there's been a lot of discussions around the ETF, right? We have breaking: Ripple and BlackRock creating XRP ETF. CEO drops a bombshell on Bloomberg Crypto. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse hints at a game-changing connection between BlackRock and Ripple launching an XRP ETF in the USA, stating, "I think it makes sense for the XRP community overall. Could BlackRock and Ripple be secretly collaborating on an XRP ETF?" And check this out.
So you would welcome an XRP ETF then?
We would certainly welcome it, and I think it's inevitable that there'll be, multiple ETFs around different tokens. And I think you'll even see ETFs potentially around baskets that also, I think, further diversify that risk.
Are you in talks with the largest issuers, particularly BlackRock, to get this done?
Well, I'm not going to comment on that. I know BlackRock has said some things publicly. We think it makes sense for the XRP community overall. Ripple obviously is a very important stakeholder in the XRP ecosystem, but we're not the only player. And look, we've seen, before the SEC lawsuit, XRP was the second most valuable digital asset. I think because of the headwinds of that lawsuit, we've now seen that largely abate. But the long-term view on these things is about, how do you create utility and really solve real-world problems with these different digital assets?
So you would welcome an XRP?
Now, obviously, everyone has their own thought process when it comes to ETFs. One thing that I will note, right, is the fact that XRP doesn't need an ETF. I see a lot of people getting very, very bullish on these ETFs. What I would be very surprised about is if BlackRock was to make a deal with Ripple to acquire a significant amount of the escrow. That way they provide XRP through an ETF that way. That would be a big move. And remember, Ripple wants to get rid of the escrow. They don't want to hold as much XRP as they do in escrow. So it would make sense for that to happen. But beyond that, right, like the big thing about the ETF is the fact that a lot of people are looking at the ETF as a massive value driver. And it will drive the value, which we will talk about here in a second. But I also want to take you guys back to January, right? Where we have Justin, how about an XRP ETF? I can't answer that. This is Larry Fink on Fox. Larry knows they can't ETF XRP, and it's about to go wild when BlackRock seeds their liquidity pools for cross-border payments. Check this out.
Advent of Bitcoin ETFs is an example that we're legitimizing it. We're creating more safety.
Well, let me ask you this. Will you do another ETF? How about an XRP ETF? I know you got Ether out there. How about XRP? Can you answer that?
I can't. And you don't want me to.
I do.
Well, I can't.
All right. They're giving me the rap. Thank you.
So there you guys have it. And again, there wasn't a lot said, but it's a little bit of a back and forth game. And even Brad Garlinghouse, he can't really comment on it either. But a lot of people have speculated on if BlackRock is in talks with Ripple, vice versa. We have the Digital Asset Summit where Ripple and even BlackRock will be represented there. That's a big one. But also we have BlackRock speaking at this Institutional Digital Asset Summit today, which is technically like a private Digital Asset Summit because we didn't even know about this. We only know about the one happening in March. So I do question what's going to be happening at that summit. But remember how significant Larry Fink and BlackRock really are in the realm of buying up large percentages of things. On February 14th, this got posted by Anthony Pompliano, and we actually have BlackRock has raised $5 billion in their spot Bitcoin ETF in less than 5 weeks. For context, 80% of Bitcoin in circulation hasn't moved in the last 6 months. So BlackRock has sucked up 2.5% of all tradable Bitcoin in 5 weeks. Wild. Now, I feel as though too many are looking at this as a bullish thing. I think that we need to take a step back and think about what's actually happening here. And it's the number one reason why I even say, are we very bullish about, Ripple possibly having talks with BlackRock around an XRP ETF and plans regarding it? And are we bullish on an XRP ETF from BlackRock? Because in the short term, yeah, it will move the price of XRP. It will pump the price of XRP, which is great. But what is the long-term view of that? I feel as though we're not looking at that. We're just kind of thinking about greed here and what will move the price of XRP. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, though, regarding that. But also, we have over here from, like I said, the Digital Asset Summit 2024. So, like I said, March 18th through March 20th. There is a lot on the agenda. First and foremost, the institutions are here. We got that. But there's a lot more to this, right? There's a fireside chat with Brad Garlinghouse. There's going to be a lot of discussions regarding what's happening around tokenization endeavors. For an example, the next generation of institutional staking, payments, crypto's killer use case, and the rise of stablecoins in global finance, the case for crypto derivatives. Down here, we actually have the seismic shift towards tokenization. Then on March 19th, there's a few other things happening. In fact, the Bitcoin ETF is going to get brought up. I'm sure this is where we start to see discussions from Blackrock a little bit. Institutionalization of crypto market structure, growing institutional appetite for digital assets, the values of the Internet of Values. And then beyond that, when we scroll back up, we could actually see a few other things here. DeFi protocols, the next generation of DeFi protocols, the state of digital asset regulation in Europe, constructing an investment thesis for liquid tokens, the next generation of crypto market structure, the digital revolution in banking and payments, trading the next crypto bull market, and a window into the multi-chain future. Then, last but not least, March 20th, this is more so institutionalization of crypto, the next wave of real-world assets, bonds, and gold, the macro case for digital assets, institutional-grade DeFi infrastructure, the state of private markets in crypto, lending, credit creation, and capital efficiency in crypto markets, innovation at financial institutions, custody, and beyond, the bull case for real-world assets. And again, tokenization endeavors really focus on real world assets and tokenization projects because they are going to blow up, in my opinion, going on into the middle of this year. But there's a lot of things that will be talked about at this summit, and there's a lot of big players that are at this summit as well. And it's in London. Why is London significant? Well, I said it back in July as well. I said it all starts in London. Remember the saying, it all starts in London. Ripple has had a long-term connection / partnership with giant payment infrastructures like Finastra forever, all leading back to thousands of banks and financial institutions. They have been focused on London forever with the recent bills / moves coming from the UK. I'd say they are more than ready. Through documents, it confirmed that XRP is being utilized by banks, but not nearly as much as you'd think. These types of connections and partnerships matter greatly, though. It confirms that Ripple combined with XRP is already connected and ready to go live with scale when the infrastructure and regulations are in place. And the institutions are planning that, and they are ready for regulations. The SEC case shook many out of XRP, but time will be the biggest factor around shaking out as many as possible. The infrastructure and regulatory frameworks are in progress. We know this from many documents. It's only a matter of time before we start seeing bigger integrations happening and systems going live. We can be months away, but we are probably years away, just being realistic. Focus on the end goal here. This is the largest technology innovation in history. An entirely new financial infrastructure is being created. These are innovations that will shake the system to its core and bring about an entirely new set of efficiencies like no other. This asset class is still in its infancy. I strongly believe crypto will become a $100 trillion asset class in the future. I'm prepared for the journey ahead. And remember what I've always said, right? Like, we're not here for BlackRock to launch an ETF and pump XRP. I don't care about that in the short term. I look at what's actually going on behind closed doors. And also, when we look at London and the UK, look at the open roles at Ripple. All regarding the UK area with London. We have institutional DeFi. There's a lot of things happening around business development, communications, engineering. There's a lot going on with legal, product and delivery, even Ripple X. Now, Ripple X is a big thing because guess what? That does revolve around XRP and even XRP. Like, for an example, we have senior product manager within DeFi. But the big thing that I'm really looking at is ultimately institutional DeFi. Because even if you look at the London opening, because we've talked about this in the past, this is regarding institutional DeFi on the XRP ledger, which would immediately impact XRP as well, because XRP is the key piece of the puzzle when it does come to the XRP ledger. And there's a lot to really kind of look at. I mean, even we're talking about ETFs being mentioned on here as well. So it would make sense that we do get an XRP ETF. I'm not saying that we won't. I'm just saying that I'm not as bullish for an ETF simply because of the percentage that will be held by large giants like BlackRock. A lot of people will say that it's inevitable. I don't think that it needs to happen, but hey, if it does, it does. But beyond that, right, Ripple has been focused on the UK for a very long time, and the UK has been pushing the boundaries regarding regulations for a while. October 30th, for an example, the UK published their final proposals for crypto stablecoin regulation. Then, February 20th, UK could pass stablecoin staking laws within 6 months. But also, Ripple, back in the summer, Ripple executives applaud UK crypto regulations, claim US lags behind. Then, we have July, Ripple applies for crypto license in the United Kingdom, followed by Ripple strikes new partnership to enable cross-border payments between UK, Australia, Gulf countries, and Africa. And then also, last but not least, we have Ripple wins UK most prestigious payment award as well. And this happened in October. So, you know, Ripple is known in the UK. They are a big player in the UK, and they've had connections within the UK for a very long time. So I'm not surprised that, you know, Ripple is going to most likely target the UK crowd heavily through a lot of these major digital asset summits and meetings. But I am very excited for the future regarding the UK and possibly what Ripple has in plan for the UK and their entire payment system as well, because I do think that they have been connecting with some of the biggest players out there, including even Finastra, because remember, this partnership happened around the London region, and Finastra is a giant when it comes to institutional connections. I think now there are over 9,000 plus financial institutions that are tied to their name. And a lot of what they are focused on is innovation around digital banking, cloud-based services, APIs, things like that. So definitely focus on some of these connections, focus on what Ripple is doing. But beyond that, I do believe that this innovation is going to shake the system to its core. And it really goes back to all these institutions now lining up. They're getting ready. They're talking about it openly. I mean, look at some of the connections look at some of the events that just happened regarding institutions as well. I mean, it's really crazy to say the least when we really look at what has happened in just the last couple months regarding institutional demand for crypto. I mean, it's crazy. It really is crazy. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.